Nag-anhibit si Muntinlupa Court Judge Romeo Buenaventura sa pagdinig sa natitirang drug case laban kay dating Senadora Leila de Lima. Ang huling kaso ay may kinalaman sa umano'y pagpaparaya ni de Lima sa illegal drug trade sa loob ng New Bilibid Prison noong kalihim pa siya ng Department of Justice. Pinagbigyan ni Judge Buenaventura ang motions for inhibition na isinampa ng mga kapwa-akusado ni de Lima na sina Ronnie Dayan, Jonel Sanchez at Franklin Bucaya. Hiniling ni Dayan, Sanchez at Bucaya ang pag-anhibit ni Buenaventura matapos mabatid na ang kapatid nitong si Attorney Emmanuel Buenaventura ay tumulong sa una sa pagpapatupad ng affidavit noong 2016, na kalaunan ay binawi ni Dayan. Ipinunto nila ang conflict of interest dahil nagtrabaho si Judge Buenaventura sa namayapang si Rep. Reynaldo Umali, chair ng House Committee on Justice, na nag-imbestiga sa kaugnayan ni de Lima sa Bilibid drug trade. He undersigned presiding judge will exercise his discretion and will recuse himself from further hearing this case not because the allegations are true, but because it is his avowed duty as member of the bench to promote confidence in the judicial system, ani Judge Buenaventura. Inulan ng komento sa social media ayon kay Dave Montalba. Tama LNG ang ginawa ni Judge Romeo Buenaventura para hindi siya matawag na bias lalo na kapatid niya ang abogado na nagdidiin kay de Lima. Dagdag din ni JB Asif Bakulo sana ang bagong judge na papalit ay fair and just, upang mapag-aralan niya yung motion for reconsideration ng kampo ni de Lima sa isyo ng bail motion. Ayon din kay Anton Del Rosario matapos ibasura yung hiling na makapagpiyansa. Dapat umpisa pa lang di na siya pinayagang humawak sa kaso. Ayon kay Zoldy Abac they cannot put the woman down, whether de Lima suffers more than 6 years in jail. She must be free from detention and punish those who made the trumped-up, superficial and fabricated charges.
The United States Jose Manuel Babe Romualdez na hindi refugee sa mga pansamantalang i-accommodate sa Pilipinas, kundi special immigrants na pawang mga dating empleyado ng Estados Unidos sa Afghanistan at mga pamilya nito. Tiniyak ng ambasador na walang dapat ikabahala ang mga Pilipino dahil ang mga ito ay hindi mga miyembro ng terorista tulad ng pangamba ng ilan dahil sila'y mga empleyado ng US government.
Yes, absolutely correct, Madam Chair. They are not refugees, they are employees or former employees of the U.S. government, and they're asking us if we could help them in processing them, precisely as pointed out by Secretary Teodoro, that it is a matter of administrative in nature.
Dahil dito, iginit naman ni Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chairperson IMEE Marcos na bakit sa Pilipinas naisitambak ng Estados Unidos ang kanilang mga dating empleyado na wala namang kinalaman ng bansa. Paliwanag ni Department of National Defense Secretary Gibo Teodoro, naging kailingan ito ng gobyerno ng Amerika sa pamahalaan ng bansa dahil nasa Afghanistan pa rin ang mga naturang Afghan special immigrants at hindi maayos ang kanilang kalagayan ngayon na mahirap iproseso ang kanilang US visa. Samantala, inihayag na ambasador ng vetting process para sa mga Afghan nationals ay isasagawa ng United States government. Ito ay bago sila anya makapasok ng bansa at pansamantalang ma-accommodate. I-issue ng Department of Foreign Affairs ng temporary visa mga Afghans para makapasok sa Pilipinas sa loob ng 59 days. Ani Romualdez, sa oras na mapasok ang kanilang temporary visa, ang gobyerno ng Estados Unidos ay maaaring iproseso ito o obligado na silang umalis ng bansa. Samantala, ikinailito naman ng mga senador ang proseso ng pag-issue ng mga visa at napakarami anyang pagdadaanan pa ng mga Afghan nationals.
We have to issue a visa before they arrive in the Philippines. So, bibigyan sila ng...
So, saan nila makukuha yung visang yan? Dadaan muna sila sa Islamabad?
Normally, it would have to
coverage,
It would have to be through Islamabad. Islamabad PE would issue the 9A visa para maka-enter.
Napakagulo naman. Ang dami naman nilang papasyalan. So, iikot muna, galing Kabul, pupuntang Islamabad. Mag-a-apply sa iilang Pilipino sa embassy ron. 50,000 sila, katapat nila 3 Pilipino. Ganun ba yun?
Normally, ganun. That's what we would do now.
Tapos, sa Islamabad, pumayag na ba yung Pakistan dito sa scheme na to?
Hindi, kinukonsult pa namin ang Islamabad.
Hindi pa alam ng Pakistan. Magugulat na lang sila, dadagsa yung mga kung sino-sino ron. Okay. Tapos, liliko na ngayon yung aeroplano. Pupunta babalik sa Pinas. Ganun ba yun? Biglang landing sa Clark. Po. Electronic appearance at the counter in Islamabad. Anong level ng screening kung pindot-pindot lang?
Sa datos, nasa 50,000 to 60,000 ang mga Afghan nationals pang natitirang kailangang iproseso ang US Special Immigration Visa. Nilinaw naman ng Department of Foreign Affairs na hindi lahat ng ito ay papupuntahin sa bansa dahil isa lang ang Pilipinas sa mga kinausap ng US para maging temporary site ng pagproseso ng mga Special Immigration Visa.
Our benefactor and representing the People's Republic of China, His Excellency the Ambassador to the Philippines, Huang Xilian, who is here representing the People's Republic on this very generous donation that they have given us. The DSWD Secretary, Rex Gatchalian, Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, and of course our hosts for today's festivities are the Mayor of Valenzuela, parang Ilocos Norte ito, pare-parehong pangalan. Mayor Wes Gatchalian, Congressman, 2nd District Representative Eric Martinez, fellow workers in government, nandito lahat, nakakompleto. We are complete. The Department of Agriculture, because we are all very grateful for this very munificent donation that we are receiving today from the People's Republic. Of course, our very important partners in the private sector, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I was looking at the sign, and it said it's the ceremonial turnover. But actually, it's not a ceremonial turnover. It is the actual turnover dahil nakapaligid sa atin. We are surrounded by bags and bags of the 20,000 metric tons of urea, which has been donated to us by the Chinese government and is now being formally accepted by the Philippines. So in behalf of the Filipino people, let me extend our deepest gratitude and appreciation to the Chinese government and its people for this donation, a solid gesture of friendship and goodwill that is in keeping with our long and storied history of trade and cultural exchange. It is worth highlighting that this act of magnanimity comes during the commemoration this month of the 48th year of our formal diplomatic relations with China. And I cannot think of a more appropriate gesture to symbolize the strengthening ties between China and the Philippines. This donation that came from China was a product of our requests from all our friends around the world during the crisis when fertilizer, well, what we are still feeling now, when fertilizer prices went up and the availability was also because of the supply chain problems that we were experiencing with our usual suppliers. And China did not think twice and immediately came up. And I remember that it was a very good conversation that we had with your president, President Xi, in which he said that agriculture as well is a foundation of the Chinese economy and a necessity for the Chinese government to attend to, because at the very basic level, government's main responsibility is to take care of its people, and a large part of that is to provide a good food supply for their people. And that is where we had this meeting of the minds, and that is why I am not surprised that immediately upon our request for any assistance in terms of fertilizer supply, that China immediately understood the predicament that we were in, and thus we have today the turnover of these 20,000 metric tons of urea fertilizer from China to the Philippines. It will tremendously aid our efforts to boost agricultural production, our nation's pursuit of food security. Indeed, it is through these kind deeds, especially those that can be felt by our people, that we reinforce the foundations of our bilateral ties, that of trust and of mutual benefit. Soon, these donated goods will find their way to our Filipino farmers. They will be able to spend the savings gained from production costs from other things that matter to them and their families. We will make sure that the message of goodwill from our highly cherished donors will cascade to them and to the rest of our citizens. I would like just to add that in keeping with this generosity that we today are the beneficiaries of from the People's Republic of China, that also, as Secretary Rex has just informed me yesterday, that China has also provided 4 million pesos worth of rice for relief goods for those evacuees in the Mayon volcano area. So these generous acts symbolize the value of the relationship between our two countries. We must continue to nurture, we must continue to care for that through acts of mutual assistance and of constant and amicable dialogue. I assure the Chinese government that the Philippines will always work for the strengthening of our ties and the advancement of our mutual interests, and they are many. As we walk to the next half century of our diplomatic ties, let this day be a celebration for many things for us. The diligence and hard work of our farmers, our realizable goal of food self-sufficiency, and the lasting beneficial impact of the long-standing friendly ties between our two nations. Mabuhay ang ugnayan ng Pilipinas at ng China. Mabuhay ang agrikultura ng Pilipinas at ang mga magsasakang Pilipino. Maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat at